Sorry for the arrogant packaging on this video, but I had to get you to click on this video in a way, and it worked clearly. So please stay so I can actually explain what I'm trying to say and you can actually learn something from it. I used to be, or I kind of still am, addicted to going on my phone and checking short form content or just watching useless content to entertain myself. When I'm not working, I find it very hard to entertain myself in a different way, like to not be addicted to my phone or content, like to just sit in silence. And I watched this Alex Hormozi podcast. I'm sure that you've seen it as well. If you're interested in educational content and you clicked on this fucking weird video that I made, you probably saw the podcast with Alex Hormozi and Chris Williamson, basically about business, a lot of relationships, addiction, a peaceful mind, work, and everything. We went over different topics in the podcast, and I want to talk about one specific item in that podcast, and it was meditation and short form content and not working, because you can work a certain hours per day, and I try to work as much as possible, but sometimes you don't want to work anymore, like after dinner, for example, or whatever time it is when you're with your wife or girlfriend or with your friends or whatever, or just you need some time to process things for yourself and you just want to meditate or conversate with yourself or whatever. And I used to be, and kind of still am, addicted to my phone and mostly short form content. By watching that 4-hour podcast of Alex Hormozi, which I watched in parts because I can't concentrate for 4 hours straight, that's how bad it is. You're the same way because Gen Z is in general this way, or if you're in your 30s, I don't really care. After watching that podcast, I felt like you're such an outlier by watching that full podcast already, like that you actually have the willpower to set yourself through a 4-hour podcast and watch the whole thing. And I think I'm going to watch it 2 times more at least, because I find it so valuable, and definitely things go over your head when you watch it the first time, so I want to watch it another 2 times at least. I had a realization that I can genuinely create something on this planet, like make a legacy for my name and my bloodline, I guess. It sounds cringe, but just to make something cool, to build something significant that will be remembered, at least for the next generation, maybe not 5 generations later, but I want to make something cool. I want to put something together and I want to build a legacy. And you're not going to do that when you spend 2 hours per day watching short form content. You might think, oh, what's 2 hours per day? It's not that bad. Like, people are on their phone 8 hours per day. I know. And I'm working most of the time on my laptop, so that's screen time as well. But I did something yesterday that was super interesting to me, and it helped me in multiple ways. I just meditated, or I conversated with myself for 20 minutes. And I solved problems that I was dealing with like for weeks on end. And just by sitting in silence for 20 minutes and talking to myself about things that came up in my brain, I solved them. I solved them in the moment because I had time to think about it. Because usually I would wake up, I would rush to get some caffeine in my system, or take a shower and then get some caffeine in my system. And then I would start working, or already working prior to the shower. I don't really care. I'm not taking my laptop into the shower, but in general, I would work as soon as possible. Then I would go to the gym. I would continue working during dinner, go home, go to the apartment, whatever, where I'm staying. And I would basically ease into sleep. I don't know how you say that, but I would get into sleep immediately. There's no way of silence. There's no part in my day that I'm doing nothing. I'm always trying to be stimulated in a certain way. And that's not how humans are wired. That's not what you're supposed to do. And that also creates a very chaotic mind and a very chaotic life, and problems that are not being solved for a very long time. And this sounds super deep, and if you watch till this point of the video, you're a real one because you have a decent attention span. What am I going to do more often now, instead of watching short form content, or in general just stupid content like Sidemen, for example, or any entertaining content? I don't see a reason why I should be doing that, because sitting in silence is more peaceful to me and works better for my relaxation than to watch that content or watching football matches. I would still do that, and I would still hang out with girls and watch TV series and do that shit, but I want to replace that for the short form content. And if I'm not with a girl or with friends or whatever what I'm doing, I want to be in silence. I want to either meditate or conversate with myself, and I think that would massively benefit me over time, because you have these problems that will be solved immediately. Let's say I come up with a problem today, then I know, okay, tonight I have 1 hour for myself between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. I'm just going to sit there, meditate, conversating with myself. I know that problem will be solved. I just write it down on a notepad or on my phone, notes, whatever. I know it's going to be solved. Previously, I would just stimulate myself throughout the whole day and I have no idea what I'm doing, rushing through life to get as much shit done as possible. And that's good, but the best decisions are made when you're consciously thinking, being present, discussing these things with yourself or with a friend via voice memos. I have also friends that I'm sending multiple voice memos per day with. I do that also to discuss difficult topics. The topic of fatherhood came up into my life. I didn't get a girl pregnant, but I saw a video and fatherhood is very interesting to me. I want to be a young dad. I don't have the financial income, and I'm also don't have a relationship. I don't have a wife. That's not going to happen soon. But then I bring that up and I discuss that with my buddies, and I also want to discuss these things with myself. Like, okay, if I genuinely want something like this, does that make sense? Would benefit me in my business, in my personal life, in my health, for my goals? Does it make sense? Usually I would just rush, and I would never make a decision, and it would just flow through my mind. So this is a deeper video than usual. Usually I keep it like quite decent, and now I went a bit deeper into a topic and something more spiritual and mentally challenging, I guess. It's super important to me to be present in the moment and to make important decisions and to build something significant. And that Alex Hormozi podcast made me realize that you need time to think and to process stuff. I didn't have like a significant trauma or something, but just I'm working so much and I'm doing so much cool stuff, but also so much chaotic stuff. And you need time to think about it, you need time to process it, and that will also make you more effective and efficient with everything. So without yapping too much, I will end this video here. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. You might have different solutions to this problem. Addiction of short form content and not being able to be present if you're not working, because entrepreneurs are quite addictive. All or nothing. So if I'm not working, I want to be sleeping. And if I'm not sleeping, I want to be working or in the gym or being something productive. And doing nothing is sometimes the most productive thing that you can do. You might think this is so woo-ha and you're not a monk sitting in a cave, sitting in this pose for 8 hours straight, but I want to bring it more into my life, and I think it would benefit me, my mental well-being, my relationships with my family and with my friends. I think it would be good for my life, business, financials, whatever. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.